And we make a promise to each other that we're only going to tell the truth.
So then I went inside and I saw my dad upstairs. I saw a bunch of blood, like a puddle of blood around his head.
Did you go anywhere else in the house?
No. I went upstairs and I saw him, and I cried right there, and I was laying down just crying.
I think might have done that.
I don't know, some of that though. There's some people down the street that are pretty bad people, always smoking, driving pretty fast down the road in a blue car.
When you shoot a gun, some of the powder comes off of it and comes on the clothes. Were any guns shot yesterday?
I don't know, maybe they shot it in the house, and I was wearing the same clothes, and maybe it got on my clothes. Because those guys could have shot in the house and make some smoke, and I could have walked into it.
So we wouldn't find a whole bunch on your clothes yesterday?
I don't know. But I wasn't shooting any guns.
If you shot a gun yesterday, it would be important that you told us that you shot the gun, because we're going to find out. So we need to know.
I think I might have shot the gun. I went upstairs, and then I saw my dad, and then I got the gun, and then I fired it at my dad. He was on the ground, and then I reloaded it.
How many times do you think you fired the gun?
I think twice.
How many times did that gun shoot him?
I think twice. I think I shot my dad because he was suffering, I think. I think I thought he was suffering.
Okay.
So I might have shot him.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So I didn't want him to suffer.
Did you shoot your dad?
I think so.
Did you shoot him because you were mad at him?
So?
You think so? Well, how often do you get in trouble?
Most of the time.
You get in trouble a lot? For what kinds of stuff, honey?
Lying.
For lying? Okay. But you told the truth right now, didn't you? That's a good kid, you know that?
You said you wanted to talk to me. What's going on?
I'm crazy and I did it.
You did what?
I killed Julie and I killed Sam.
Okay. Tell me how you killed Sam.
2 shots using my father's gun that I had.
And your motive behind killing Sam was?
Money and insanity.
Money and insanity. Okay. Tell me about the Sam incident and what you did.
I told him that I needed to move some stuff from the theater. I said, you need to bend down and help me lift this thing up. And when he bent down, I grabbed the gun. I never really fired the gun before, so I pulled it back and I shot him.
Okay. Is there anything that you said to Julie prior to shooting her?
No, I didn't. I got her in. I was downstairs in my apartment. I was still text messaging.
That was Sam's phone you were using?
Yes.
Okay.
Sam's phone.
What sort of text messaging were you doing back and forth?
I was saying, you need to come over tonight. You need to come over tonight.
What did you say to Julie?
Julie was wearing like a crown tiara. She had just come from her brother's. I had said like, Sam had just called me and he was going through some stuff. She said, yeah, me too. I said, well, I have a key. Let's go in. I opened the door. I let us in. And then I just went to the bathroom real quick because I was really nervous. Loaded the gun again.
And?
Went back out into the hallway and then said, oh, by the way, did you see this in Sam's bed? And I said, lean over, look at it right there. And when she was leaned over, I put 2 bullets in the back of her head.
Okay. When did you feel you had to kill Julie? What was the rationale behind that?
I was going crazy.
No, but seriously.
Seriously, to cover up Sam. And so
why? How would that cover up Sam?
To make it look like he was on the run and he did it.
He was the one that did it.
Right. It reached a point to where I couldn't even believe that I was doing this. I don't know. I don't know.
didn't like Caleb Harrison. I didn't like the way he treated my kids. I didn't like hearing all the horrific stories. It was an awful family. They treated the children like shit. And I and Melissa had to live with it every day, and I couldn't watch Melissa's attitude and how sorry she was for everything that was going on. And I'm telling you right now that Melissa Merritt did not know anything until after it was done.
What did you do?
I killed Bridget Harrison and Caleb Harrison.
How did you kill Bridget?
I knocked on her door. She opened the door. I pretended to have a letter to give to the children. She refused the letter, so I then forced my way into the house and I attacked her.
What did you do?
I hit her a couple of times. I then proceeded to squeeze her neck. Until she stopped breathing and laid on the floor. I never meant to find him, I never meant to find her. That's not the plan, that's not what I wanted. I figured that someone would come home or Caleb would come home and find her. I didn't expect for to come to the house. I didn't think that was going to happen.
I know that.
And as for Caleb, I snuck out in the middle of the night. Melissa had no idea. I left, I went there. I got into his house. Proceeded to go up to the bedroom. I hit him in the chest. And when he sprung up, we began to struggle. I threw him into the shelving unit beside his bed. He tried to bribe me with money. I didn't speak to him. I just knocked him to the ground and then proceeded to choke him.
Him to tell us he did it. Nobody.
I've been doing this since 1978, and you were one of the best, if not the best I've ever seen. How did this come to be, man? Does the word monster come to mind? Pardon? Does the word monster come to mind?
He's told.
Tell me about this monster. One minute you're a person like you are, the next minute you're not. I think you're tired of this monster. I know you're tired of this monster. Do you want to see him? Okay.
We want.
What kind of tools did you bring with you for the monster bring?
One case it was a fishing knife. What case was that? Johnny man? Cut our hands off with a fishing knife?
How about Dahmer?
Pocket knife. What about Catherine? Bowie knife.
At first,
not wanting you to explain to me that you wanted to hurt Michelle. I want you to explain to me what you felt like you had to do to protect Caden. So I want you to be honest with me and tell me what happened.
She got up, and I got up, and she's getting dressed, and she's finishing up, and she's still yelling, and Caden's hiding. I grabbed her and I broke her neck.
Okay.
And I just threw her down and called my parents. And then when I came back, I just got rid of her.
Where did you get rid of her?
She's in Midland.
Okay. Do you know where? Would you be willing to take us there?
Yes.
Because
Look, I can't live with this anymore either, man.
I know.
I wanted to tell Dr. Phil, but
hey, man,
it wasn't. I just grabbed her, and I mean, I don't want to kill myself either to not be prosecuted for this, but I feel dead inside already.
Let me tell you something, Mark. Number one,
I don't have anything else. I didn't have anything else to do.
Look at me, my friend. Look at me.
I'm sorry. Give me the death penalty. That's fine.
Look,
I deserve it.
Mark. Look, I'm proud of you.
Life is over with anyway.
Your life's not over with, Mark. Mark. Listen to me, man. Listen
I
to me.
lied to everybody. I didn't want to do it.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Your life is not over. And you know why?
Why?
You've got Caden.
I'll never see him again.
You will. You will.
Don't kill me in prison.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me, Mark. Look, here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to know this, and I want you to look me in the eye. I'm proud of you. It takes a real man to stand in here, sit in this room, and talk with me, and talk about something that he's done that is so egregiously wrong. Let me tell you, it does.
And then she takes another pull, and then I turn, and then she blows it. So when I'm about to say something, it just goes deep within. So I'm like, you know, and I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm like, just give me, you know, a minute. Because stuff was just not, you know, seeming right at the time. And I was like, just give me a minute. I just get up, go on the couch, you know. She was like, so she's sitting in front of me. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, still smoking. Still blowing the smoke in my face. So I was like, Linda, please, I just need 10 minutes. That's it. I was like, I don't feel good right now. I was like, I think it's from a contact, you know. So fucking what? You know, and then she's just like, fuck this, fuck that, you know. And then she was like, what are you, stuck on stupid? You know, but this is like fun, you know, funny to her. And she doesn't look the same to me. Because it's like now my mind is like in shutdown mode. You know, she just looked like really evil. You know, she didn't look like the person I work with. You know, she didn't look like Linda that never yells at me, you know. And then she had like her, it's like a wooden baton type thing, you know.
Is it made of wood or some other material?
It's wood.
Okay. And what is it used for?
Yoga. Yoga, she goes for a walk.
Okay, and can you describe it to me?
It's like, I don't know if you ever see the people do yoga. They put it on their shoulders, they stretch, they turn. It looks like a king.
And how long is it about?
Probably like the length of a king, but without that hook.
Okay, can you just show me with your hands the best of your ability?
It's probably like, well, it's actually, you know, probably like this thick. And it's probably like this long, because it can go on your shoulder.
Okay.
You can hold it like this. It's like, I don't let her buy my lunch, you know. I buy my lunch, you know. And so she was like, that's the first I hear somebody black saving their money. So she's like waving a cane and stuff at me. Then it's like, I don't know, like after that remark and stuff, and you know, her screaming and yelling, I just snatched it from her, but she kind of like, you know how you like brush somebody off, like, you know, fuck you, you know, like, who cares? You know,
taking you seriously.
Right.
Yes.
So I took it and it's like, I just hit her with it. And I did it like a couple more times.
On her head? After the first time she fell, and then you continued to hit her on the head with the stick?
Yes.
Do you know how many times you hit her?
That wasn't myself. I can't count.
Were you feeling very angry towards her?
I was mad. I was confused. I was angry, paranoid. It was like a feeling like I never had before. It was like, it felt like she was like my worst enemy, you know? I think I just like, you know, hit her 6 times. And then I stood up and I was like in total shock. I just sat there. I called her name so many times. I shook her so many times. My intentions weren't to hurt her at all. I stood there for a while. I closed my eyes a couple times, thinking, okay, you know, if I open it, she would just be coming out of the bathroom, sucking through her hair, you know. I rinse off the object.
Where?
In the kitchen sink.
What did it have on it? What were you rinsing off?
It was blood.
The interview is being recorded at Patchway Police Station in Bristol. It is now Tuesday, the 3rd of March 2015, and it's exactly 12 midday. I'm DC 3302, Marie Stephen, and the other police officer present is
DC Mark Luther 2702.
Nathan, can you give us your full name?
Nathan Charles Matthews.
Thank you. And your date of birth?
The 9th of the 1st, 1987.
Thank you. And the other people present in the interview are?
Robin Rowland on behalf of Cross Street Solicitors.
And Liz Warlock, appropriate adult.
Thank you. So Nathan, we've had a short break. Perhaps if I just flag up for the recording what this interview's about. It's about the kidnap and murder of Becky Watts. Over the last couple of days we've had 4 recordings. The last was a very short recording, and I know you needed to have a break then. I explained to you this morning why we needed to, rather than simply take at face value the written statement that you have given to us last night, and we need to explore what you've told us some more. I know that was difficult for you first thing this morning, but that's what we need to carry on and do, and ask you some more questions.
Can you rephrase? I don't know what questions you need to ask, but obviously you said something about Shauna. Can you rephrase it?
Mm-hmm.
So you can include basically everybody in it and not use her name. Like,
do you want me to say
I think, yeah.
like
the other person? Is it just saying the name?
Just include everybody in it. Like,
Yeah.
obviously she's in. Obviously it will be included in it, but include everybody. Don't say her name.
Okay. Okay. I'll do my best to avoid using that name where I can, Nathan, okay? I can't make promises, and what I would say to you is that I'm not going to be doing anything to deliberately wind you up or anything like that, okay? But we've obviously been here a long time, and if I make a slip up, it may well be because I'm tired and those things happen, okay? Can you tell me then, Nathan, because if we work through what you told us in this written statement, this idea that you had...
Obviously used, I think you wanted more detail,
yeah.
was it?
Yeah, I do.
Obviously I should be able to go into more detail.
Mm-hmm.
You can remember the discussion we had before Can We Begin, though?
Huh?
Remember the discussion we had before Can We Begin?
I don't know.
There are a couple of
Are
ways...
you gonna have to read that statement?
No. There are a couple of ways we could get around this.
Obviously, I don't want that to be read to someone.
I don't want to read this out in full again, Nathan, but what I wanted to do was get some more detail from you about things that you've said in it. So perhaps if I could pull out some things from what you've told us and ask you to expand on it, tell us a bit more. Does that sound all right? How about if we start with this idea you had about scaring Becky? Tell me about how that started up then, how you got that idea.
I don't know if it was on TV or something like that, but obviously I had a couple of dreams about...
I think at this point, I can't keep interrupting, but remember the discussions we had before you came into interview? And how you and I discussed you dealing with the interview?
What was the question again?
About the idea that you got, and you said it might have been something on TV or you had a dream.
Well, obviously I came up with the idea to scare her, because, like, to try and basically make her more appreciative of life, so she'd be more appreciative for other people. She'd be, like, grateful that, you know, she wasn't harmed or anything like that, or because obviously she'd leave things out on the floor of my mum to trip over, and obviously would talk to her, like saying nasty comments and talk to her like dirt on the floor. And I thought if I was, able to scare her, and obviously her not be harmed, and obviously be released. Obviously when she got back, she obviously would have been scared and more appreciative of things, as people are.
Okay. So tell me what you thought you were going to do. What your plan was.
So obviously stick her in the suitcase. Obviously, put tape around her mouth so she wouldn't make any noise. And then
I don't want to interrupt you, Nathan, but just one thing, it might be difficult to hear this later. Do you reckon you could speak up a bit?
Obviously, the plan was obviously once I got her in the car to make up something to say to Shauna, obviously I had to leave, like to help someone or do something or something. And obviously I was gonna I was thinking of like a wooded area or whatever to obviously take her back out, to obviously still have the mask on, and obviously like scare her and say something along the lines of you've got to start treating people better, not being a bitch or self-centered, and then like make a threat of or this could happen again or worse or something like that. And obviously I hadn't figured out exactly how to obviously walk away after without obviously, I don't know if she'd try and follow. I'm assuming she wouldn't have followed because out of fear we wouldn't want to follow someone who just obviously has done that, and obviously would have come back. But I would have obviously chucked away obviously everything first and then come back, and obviously would have acted as normal. Kept coming back to my mum's, obviously acted as normal.
So when did you think all of this up?
I can't be certain. I'm no good with dates. I've said this repeatedly, and days muddle into other days. I don't have a specific memory of coming up with it, but I remember thinking about it a couple of times. Just basically trying to think of ways to, because obviously she won't listen to me about leaving shit on the floor for my mum to trip up on. She doesn't listen to her dad about it. Just trying to find a way of making her actually listen.
Had you had a conversation with her soon before that?
I can't remember when I last saw her. Like I said in the statement, it could have been Wednesday when we went over, or it could have been the Monday before. It depends on when she was in and when she wasn't in, and if she was in, it depends on when she would have come down.
Nathan, do you think you want some legal advice at this stage, given that this is going differently than we discussed?
I don't know, probably here.
Okay. It's 12:11 p.m.
What's your full name? Nathaniel Marcus Gannon. What's your sister's name? Bray. This is the most important hour of your entire life. And you know what else? We told Bray the same thing. She made the right decision. She told us everything. Every single living and breathing detail. Don't let your little sister take the whole rap for this. Tell us your side of the story. Tell us your side of the story. Like what the hell? Like your little sister killed your dad? Your little sister, you're gonna let her? I didn't see anything. You're gonna let her out cry for this whole thing? I didn't do anything though. Your sister's gonna fall for this whole thing because you won't man up and act like the big brother you're supposed to act like. I didn't do anything. How did you feel, Nathan, when he went down? When you looked at him and he's making those noises or whatever, what did that feel like, honestly? To take another man's life? Did it not look real? Would you mind if I did a quick demonstration? Go ahead. With being a partner. Absolutely. Use me. You know what I do? Stand up, face that way, with your hands behind your back. Did you try to jerk away or lunge or something? Try to take. Yeah. Try to take the gun? And what happened? And the gun fell? He fell? You may not feel it yet, but it's physically, you are looking relieved. Because you've not been able to express to anybody your feelings about what happened. You know, I just didn't want to get better than Legere. I didn't want to lose my dad. You're gonna be okay, Nathan. I think that I should die. You think you should die? What you said? Why? Deserve it, I guess. Why? This whole situation. I really don't feel like I deserve to be a person anymore. Wow. Are you saying that you didn't mean to kill him? I mean, I was angry, but no. You don't want him to die? I didn't want him to die. I wanted him to be scared. I wanted him to be honest. I wanted him to honestly feel like take me seriously for church. What happened after the first bullet? I just know. I panicked. And he was bleeding and hurting. Yeah. And then he was dying in front of me, and it was just, you killed me. And I was just like, no. That's what he said to you? He said you killed me? Just the once, or? I don't know. I remember him saying it like 1,000 times. Yeah. Just, you killed me. You killed me. Why did you kill me?
No. No purposes.
So what do you got? You know what I'm saying?
DNA.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Fucking this up. Okay, I know what's called. You fucking if you got a fucking missing person, it's probably pretty hard to fucking cut you in it.
You got DNA.
Fucking guys are right. I thought the best way to fucking dispose of something was fucking take it in the ocean.
Oh, really?
Fuck. You know what the fucking ocean does with this? Ain't much left.
Any better than that?
Who? Me? No. Yeah. No shit. That's gotta be fucking pretty good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can't be much fucking left.
Gonna stop it. Can you stop me?
Really?
Keep coming. Oh, fuck. Can you stop me?
See? Fucking gotta be fucking ridiculous. Gotta be fucking.
I was remember your name was like 29.
That's fucking pretty good there. That's fucking pretty good. I think you're doing something right. Fucking beautiful. Yeah, you gotta fucking
But the problem, they have bigger than me.
Doesn't make sense. No shit, eh? Well, they got fucking prints, you know? They got no prints.
Fucking sure you moved everything.
No. They didn't do it yet. Don't fucking say anything. I can let things slide.
Like I said, we're not going to keep over. You won't even get bail.
Like I said, that's fucking up to the judge, right? No.
You guys are real upset.
No shit.
They don't know what to say.
Say what?
They don't know what to say.
You fucking give it a good push.
Yeah.
It's not like it's fucking worth it. You know? I can make things disappear.
I was going to do one more. Maybe even 50. That's what I was slapping people for.
Yeah.
I want to do one more. Make a big bad hole.
Make the big 5 cent. That's fuck. Fucking 50. Fucking $100. Yeah. Best part. I fucking one.
As it says, too. So the other was eating. They can't even put an injury.
How the fuck does that help you? That helps you?
Yeah.
Right? That looks good on you.
But I think what we can do, being a fucking fuck Japanese, I think we can go to the cross. But if that happens, there's about 15 other people going to go down. Fuck, it's going to go down like that.
Yeah.
I thought they were my friends.
Huh. Okay, between me and you, man. Fuck, you know what? You gotta fucking do what you gotta do for yourself.
I thought they were my fucking friends.
Yeah. Fucking where's the
I've
world?
seen the interview.
No shit.
I've seen the interviews about the people. And he says, you feel the surgery with antifreeze, and you inject yourself, and you're dead in better than 10 minutes. He says in the interview, everything else. Another phrase is, yeah, I mean, officers, probably got a lot of stuff on me.
No shit.
That's why it's part of it. That's only part of it. That's only part of it. Another phrase says, yeah, they beat the piss out of me. And he said, if I didn't copy with the stuff that I stole, in one day, I'll be hanging to the barn upside down. He says, right on tape. He says, I come back to Vancouver right now to testify.
No shit.
So it's going to be a big time. They're going to tell you the first. I made my own grave. My baby's body.
Doesn't that just kick you in the ass now?
But it pisses me off. Fucking horrible. You know, it pisses me right off because the problem is, you're this, they don't have nothing, but nothing otherwise.
Oh, damn. That would fucking piss you off now.
Really fucking piss me off. I was just gonna, one more that we can eat. Bigger than ladies, bigger than the ones in the States.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fucking my heart.
This is already about 42. This is.
Yeah, is it?
I didn't really think I had an urge to kill her. I just wanted her to stop. And
what did you want to do to her?
what did I want to do with her? Just to have her stop and.
But how would you do it? What did you think in your head about how you would do it? That's what we're trying to get at. When did you first think about treating your mom violently to get what you wanted her to do?
Probably in 4th grade.
Okay, there we go. Fourth,
5th, and 6th was probably up to that grade.
and what was in your mind that you wanted to do to get her to treat you a certain way? What did you want to do to your mom here?
I wanted her to stop being angry at me for not knowing how to...
But she wasn't stopping.
No, she wasn't stopping.
Was she?
No.
She kept picking at you. Belittling you, embarrassing you. I mean, that was pretty clear from yesterday.
It happened in school, too, so I had
So what was your way of retaliating against her in your mind? And what were you thinking to do to your mom?
I don't know if I was thinking of hurting her. I just wanted her to stop and let me alone. Angry at her for pushing on me to remember, and I just couldn't remember, and I just wanted her to stop.
But she didn't.
But she didn't know.
She didn't stop. So somewhere in the 4th or 5th grade, that sense of helplessness that you had not being able to get her to stop would very likely have produced thoughts of taking back some power and control over your mom to get the bitch to shut up. I mean, I'm sorry, but Gary, that's what we hear. And that's what one of the things we're looking to get a better understanding of.
During that thing, I usually took it out on other things instead of hurting her. Living things, killing animals.
Okay.
Killing animals. I stabbed a kid one time.
Okay.
Stabbed a kid with a knife.
Tell me about that.
It was down by Chinook, where I used to go to school. And boy was playing. I stabbed him in the side and didn't kill him. And I think it must have been about 6th grade, or I think it was 7th grade. And that was at the same time I was breaking out windows, throwing rocks at windows at school.
Not interested in that.
But that's what I took my aggression on. I couldn't take it on my mom. I had to take it on my animals and
How many
the
animals
kids.
did you kill?
Oh, I killed a lot of birds, but one cat suffocated in his chest, and shot babies at dogs to hurt them, and threw rocks at my brother. About that time, I think I was getting out of that, though.
You couldn't take your aggressions out on your mom.
No, I couldn't.
But you could think about it.
I could think about it, and
What'd you think?
I thought about hurting her, so she'd shut up and leave me alone, and then
How did you think about hurting your mom?
killing her.
And how would you do that?
With my hands, or I didn't have no guns or anything, so I didn't. It had to have been hands or.
And then after she was dead, what were you going to do in your head?
In my head, I don't know what I would do. I just wanted her to stop. One time there, they were going to put me in a special school. I didn't want that. My dad and my mom were arguing about it all the time. And it was for retarded people, and I wasn't retarded, I don't think. So I was mad at them for wanting to put me away from other kids. And wanting to hurt her. and hurt her bad.
What does that mean? Hurt her bad? Help me to understand that.
Just beat her up so she would leave me alone, and
How would you do that in your head?
my hands, beat her up with my hands, maybe use a knife.
What would you do with the knife?
I'd probably stab her with it. She was the big problem I had. I mean, there was, my dad wasn't around that much. He was working all the time, and she was the only one of us in control, and she was constantly trying to get me to do better in school, and I just couldn't do better. I wanted to have her stop, and the only way was to kill her, to hurt her bad.
Help me explain, help me understand the knife.
Well, the knives are in the drawer. That would be, I used a knife on that, stabbed that boy, and I used a knife on her if I wanted to. It's a way of killing, and
Okay. Walk me through what you were going to do with the knife in your head to your mother.
cut her throat so she wouldn't stop degrading me and putting me in I couldn't remember things, and that was the only way I could think of hurting her to get her to stop.
When did you think about having sex with your mother?
When 14 or 15, I think.
Tell me about that. It's about the same time frame.
I'd see her out sunbathing, and I feel that she'd be good to have sex with, but she's my mother, and I never really. She's the only woman in my life, other than neighborhood girls, but so I get fantasies of having sex with her and wanting to, but being restricted on that part.
Explain to me fantasies and restricted on that part.
Well, because if she's my mother, it's not right for having sex with your mother, and she was always in two pieces, and she'd come off work, she'd go in the backyard, so it was inviting to fantasize with her, because she was there sunbathing and tan, and it was something that really intrigued me. It's all women like this. They're different, and it roused me to. I get a hard on sometimes, and it was the only time I had an opposite sex. In class, everybody's clothed and stuff like that. This was a woman that was sometimes, laying down with no bra on. I mean, you couldn't see anything but bare skin, and it was a turn on in a way, and I enjoyed looking out the window at her when she wasn't watching.
Did your mom enjoy that?
She didn't even know I was there. No, she was down just sunbathing, and then she'd turn over. And before she turned over, she always fastened her bra and turned over, and maybe a little bit up here to show because she no tan marks. And I stared and looked out all the time.
And had your fantasies?
I had a fantasy, yes.
It makes sense to me. Makes sense that you would have a fantasy. Need to have you tell me what that was.
Just a fantasy of wanting to have sex, touch her, feel her body, have her show me how to have sex. Because mothers teach you a lot of things, you know. It's just a fantasy. It's something she wouldn't do it, but it's.
What would in your fantasy? What would your mom have you do to her?
Have me do to her. My fantasy would be to explore, to find different things what a woman has, girls have that guys don't have. Show me how to have sex, good sex. What the woman wants, and feel every bit of her body to enjoy a woman and have sex with her.
But at the same time in your life, and listen carefully to this, at the same time in your life, you also hate your mom for what she's doing to you.
Yes.
So how are those thoughts and fantasies colliding together? Because we know that happens. How are they colliding together in your head?
And colliding together in my head when she was just laying down there, she was more of a sex object than a mother, and more of the fantasies of having sex with her and nothing to have and to kill her. It was two different things. When she was always Dr. Jekyll Hyde. When she's down there, she's a sex fantasy, sex object. When she's up there trying to get me to read, and she's the other side of something I hated. I loved the part of her being a sex object, but I didn't like the part of her being a mother and working with me, is trying to help me in reading, and I liked the sex part better than I liked the mother that was always trying to hurt, belittle me, and because I wasn't learning.